host. I am Khushbu, Soni, host for the broadcast and chief editor at CIO News. This is our exclusive interview series on the topic of zero trust security trend, powered by Zscaler with our CIOs and CISOs in India. This is a recorded session and will be available on our website, that is cionews.co.in, and our CIO News LinkedIn handle. It is my pleasure to invite our guest for today. He is Mr. Parveen Dhingra, the CDIO, Enterprise Solutions and Digital Infrastructure at Vedanta. Mr. Dhingra has 25 plus years of experience in building information technology infrastructure, strategy, operations, network designs, and implementation. He's driven many digital transformation initiatives for various organizations with strong leadership capabilities with outstanding performance to deliver on time, and has extensive experience in all facets of infrastructure, IT infrastructure, cybersecurity, digital transformation. It is an absolute pleasure to have you today, Parveen, and thank you so much for taking our time for us.
Thanks, Khushbu. Thank you very much.
Great. I wanted to begin, Parveen, with my first question. You being at the leadership role for such a large group organization, which is Vedanta, I wanted to understand, what does your typical day look like?
So days start with the new challenges and with the removing those challenges. But yes, it's always excited because the reason here is now the major. As an organization, we are putting a lot of focus on digitalization. Right. When you talk about digitalization and for end user, the digitalization is nothing, is actually a digital way to do the work on, right? But from a back end, from an IT point of view, there are a lot of hard work which needs to be covered in the picture. And we have to think about a lot of policies and processes which has to be ensured that organization will follow, organization follows that. So day is very, very different. Every day is a new challenge for us. But the good part here is we normally used to take the user requirement as a challenge for us. So we, the best part of IT and digital here is, I urge each and every leader to think about only from a user point of view. Then only we'll understand the user pain. I understand that we have a lot of IT concerns or a lot of IT policies and process also in the picture, but the user, you have to come into user shoe and feel about those areas and demand for that. That's how.
Right.
Yes.
Great, awesome. While we're discussing about the topic around zero trust security, I wanted to put my next question was, what are the security requirements to keep in place before organizations decide to move to digital platforms or conduct business digitally?
Oh, cybersecurity is it's not a, I don't know how to communicate the same, but I remember when 2010, when we attend Gartner Symposium event, that time it was talking about a lot of new innovations which are coming up, such as cloud and so on. Right? And from that day onwards, I'm putting a lot of focusing from a cybersecurity point of view. Very, very important for us here is, the first is we should have a cybersecurity strategy as well as framework. The same should be completely aligned with the vision and mission of the organization. That is very, very important. That's the first thing. And second should be, we should define the complete policy as well as process based on cybersecurity strategy, whatever we define. The third point here is, what I would strongly believe here is a well-defined segregation of roles and responsibility between IT operation and security to ensure that at least your operation and your security, both the things, your business should not get suffered because of that reason. Fourth, from technology point of view, I request all the leaders to think about innovative technology leveraging AI and ML. There was a time which we used to think about legacy thought process, but now we have to come out from legacy ideas to use about AI and ML technology in security area also. So that's a four fundamental which I normally used to follow while making this cybersecurity requirements.
Right. Awesome. We've seen that during the recent years, we have witnessed a number of targeted attacks on large corporations, critical infrastructure of all kinds in public sector and private enterprises as well. So I wanted to understand if you can share some thoughts on how IT leaders can keep their organizations safe in the current times.
How the IT leaders can save organization? What I would suggest here is like any other organization, we are also equally vulnerable to cyber risk, right? Our most of the risk factor is our plant system, if I talk about, right? If I give you an example of Vedanta, where we are, as these are the assets for the nation, right? As I mentioned, that we normally used to follow the complete standard practice, where we do a monthly as well as quarterly review mechanism on cybersecurity threats and so on. We also follow NIST framework, like identify, protect, detect, and respond and recover model also. I would say, each and every organization should have a defined risk management plan, which should be reviewed on every quarterly basis, not within the IT, but it should be reviewed at all SBU heads level to ensure that they also have a buy-in from IT.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. My next question is, we've seen a huge acceleration in the cloud adoption after the pandemic, and so what are the strategies to achieve and maintain compliance for any cloud environment as per you, Parveen?
Yeah, that's a very, I agree with you. Many organizations are moving to cloud after the pandemic, right? Initially, I remember before the pandemic, it was very difficult for us to create a business case and then talk about the case studies and so on, things to move to cloud.
Right.
And, it was very difficult to, but yes, I agree with you. It's a very, very, compliance is a very, very big requirement to achieve, to ensure that we can do a cloud. Before we migrate to cloud, we should ensure the security is very, very important parameter. If I talk about example of Vedanta as per the strategy framework, CIA has confidentiality, integrity, and availability of data, as well as SOX compliance are highly important and critical for us. Why? Because these are getting monitored, tracked, and reported at our board level, right? So hence, it is very, very important that our strategy framework. Now, to ensure that the same thing is getting implemented, what we have is we have a security monitoring. What I'm trying to convey here is security monitoring is very, very important. Hence, before moving to cloud, we handshake with some of the big four partners who does our complete 24/7 monitoring of all the security incidents. Not only monitoring the incidents, what we did here is the monitoring of incidents are getting tracked and logged as an incident also, to ensure that our operation teams ensure that all the incidents will be closed in minimum time of periods, which is called as a TAT for them, right? However, we are in the process of evolution of new innovation technologies, which I told you that leveraging AI and ML to ensure that we can do a lot of automations wherein automated process flow can be done because of it.
Right. Right. Awesome. Great. My next question is, we've also observed lately that, organizations' data flows across endpoint, cloud, and web in real time. So what is, the data protection strategy for a complete visibility and control of an organization's data from device to cloud, as per you?
So we are working on new innovation from a zero trust strategy, right? Which is very, very important and critical for us from a data point of view. And good part is a part of our cybersecurity roadmap also, because we have a well-defined roadmap which is going to implement in the next 1 year, because everything cannot be implemented in minimum time frame. As of now, we are in the process of building the same, but yes, we are using a standard tools and from a data privacy point of view and data integrity point of view, which we are maintaining for the organization. From a zero trust strategy point of view, we are in the process of evaluating the same. However, we have started working on identity and access management as a first step, where we are working on such as MFA and behavior analytics and so on things. That's our first part of the activity which we are performing, because it's a long-term strategy and long-term goals also for us.
Right. Okay, perfect. Great. My next question is, what are the zero trust strategies which organizations can also leverage for secure network and application access as per you? Maybe if you can throw some light and explain.
In fact, I don't know, it will be a re-fulfilling, re-highlight the same, but I think so. Just few minutes back only, I highlighted zero trust strategy is very, very important, critical, not only from a network, from a data point of view also, right?
Right.
And then again, zero trust is actually our part of security, cybersecurity roadmap. roadmap.
Right.
Again, we are working with a lot of initiative because it's having a 5 or 6 pillars which we are working on. But we are taking one by one, which is very, very important as of now, is identity and access management, which we have already started working on it. But yes, it is very, very important in today's world where we don't know where the threats come from, right?
True. True. Yeah. Great. I think great insights, Parveen. Before we move our ahead, or call it an end to the episode, I have one last question. Any suggestions, best practices, learnings that you can share for our fellow CIOs that they can take as an insights from this episode? That would be great.
So, to be honest, there is no such kind of things which I would suggest here is, but only thing is, I would only say each and every one of us should take the feedbacks from each other and ensure that, follow the good practice, because each and every one of us are learning in the same stage, right? We
Right.
are into the process of learning and so on.
Right.
So the only thing is I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but happy to take a suggestion from others also. My idea or my thought process there is the feedback should be taken from each and everyone and ensure that if the feedback is good, we should implement it.
Right. Great. Wonderful conversation with you, Parveen. Thank you so much for taking out time for us and joining us on the CIO News episode. It was a pleasure to interact with you, and I'm sure viewers will have great insights from this. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.